Wow, just wow. What an incredible game of football. Manchester City crashing out of the Champions League at the semi-final stage at the hands of Real Madrid. Manchester City were 1-0 up on the night after 89 minutes. They were 5-3 up on aggregate, only for Rodrygo to pop up in stoppage time with a couple of really, really big goals, force the tie to extra time and swing the pendulum completely in Real Madrid's favour. They were at home, of course. They had the slight advantage in that sense, but the Bernabeu was rocking after those couple of goals and really helped Real Madrid get through the remainder of that tie. You can never write this Real Madrid team off. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and they proved that again tonight. They're such stubborn, difficult opponents, and a lot of that comes from the aura that Real Madrid have as a football club, their history, the expectation, the standards that are held at that football club is part of what makes it special. And that's built up over years and years and years and years. You know, you go to Real Madrid, you can feel the magic inside the stadium. Now, I'm not wishing to have a dig at Manchester City, who have had an incredibly good season up until now and probably will still go on, maybe, and become Premier League champions, which would represent a really, really good season again for Pep Guardiola's side. But it just goes to show that you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the stars in the world, and I'm not saying that Real Madrid's team is cheap or anything like that, but that kind of magic and that aura that you saw at the Bernabeu tonight, that's something that comes with years and years and years of tradition, of magic, of success. That fear factor that seems to hit all the opponents that go to the Bernabeu and really sort of counts against them when they're up against the ropes, when they're struggling, when they're fighting for their lives. That is the Real Madrid aura. That is the magic of a club like Real Madrid. And Manchester City just couldn't cope with it. You know, I thought they were a little bit sloppy in the way they conceded the first goal, and from then on in, there was about a 3 or 4 minute period in which Real Madrid did more than they'd managed in the entire 90 minutes before that. Just really incredible stuff, and a reminder of why we love this competition. It is wonderful. I mean, we'll probably talk a little bit more about the game on the gas tank on 90 Min tomorrow, and of course maybe a little bit on my channel as well. We'll dive into it a little bit deeper, but I just wanted to react to the game because I'm buzzing, and I don't support Real Madrid, and I don't particularly hate Manchester City. But after watching a game of football like that, which had drama, which had goals, which had action, which had jeopardy, which had a little bit of controversy, if you want to talk about Daniele Osato's performance as well. He certainly didn't do Manchester City any favours with some of his decisions. But just the magic of the Champions League. Why on earth they want to mess around with the format of this competition, I don't know. Why on earth anybody wanted to break away and do a Super League to try and kill this thing off and try and take away from this amazing football competition, the best competition in the world. This is the pinnacle of club football, and we saw that again tonight. Just really magical stuff. How will this impact Manchester City going forward? Will they be able to dust themselves off, pick themselves up again, going into the remainder of the Premier League campaign? Because, of course, the title race is still very much in the balance. How will Real Madrid fare against Liverpool in the final? A repeat of a final from a few years back in which Liverpool had their hearts broken. Can they turn it around this time? Can Liverpool put that right? So much to look forward to in the remainder of this competition. But tonight, all the credit has to go to Real Madrid. Pep Guardiola will get a lot of criticism. He'll get called a fraud. He'll get all the usual criticisms that he gets when Manchester City fall sort of short of winning the UEFA Champions League. I did think some of his substitutions, I know a couple of them were enforced, but I did think some of the changes just disrupted Manchester City a little bit tonight. Now, that's not to say that's the reason that they collapsed, but I just think there was a little bit more disruption than needed, than necessary. And I feel like that maybe played a bit of a part. Like sometimes it disrupts you. Carlo Ancelotti made a number of substitutions as well, and I thought he got them spot on. I thought he was right to take off Toni Kroos, and Camavinga came on in that midfield as well and made a real difference. Rodrygo obviously has been a bit of a super sub, hasn't he, off the bench in this competition and proving his worth again. Karim Benzema, who had a quiet game by his standards, stepped up to win the penalty and then convert it. I wondered if he was going to Panenka it down the middle of the goal again. But just unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you didn't watch this game live, you'll regret it. When you watch the highlights, you'll regret it, because that roller coaster of emotions, the way it swung from being finely balanced to Manchester City in the driving seat after Riyad Mahrez's incredible finish and looking as though they were home and dry, and all that talk about an all-English final starting to do the rounds on social media, only for Rodrygo within a few minutes to completely turn the game on its head and force it to extra time. And when extra time began and Real Madrid won that penalty, you really felt like the wind had gone from Manchester City's sails. Just incredible football, incredible scenes. And you could see the scenes in the Bernabeu after the game as well. Unbelievable stuff. And as I say, look, that aura, that magic that you see when Real Madrid play at the Bernabeu in these big, big Champions League nights, just like how Anfield is on big European nights, that comes from years and years and years of history. That comes from years and years of what Jose Mourinho calls football heritage. And you can't manufacture that. You can't just click your fingers, spend a few $100 million and make that. You need to be successful over a sustained period, and that needs to grow and develop. And Real Madrid are a club who have that in an abundance. What is it, 13, 14 European Cups? And they're on course with an opportunity to pick up another one. Unbelievable stuff. And yeah, I know I've said unbelievable a lot in this video, but yeah, it truly was just oh, I love football. I love football. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Sorry for the crap quality, as I say, in the car heading home after watching the game. We'll talk about it in a little bit more detail, I'm sure, on 90 Min and on the Chronicles of Aguna tomorrow. But just unbelievable stuff. Good night.